VinFuture Prize, a new global science and technology prize for humanity from Vietnam. One VinFuture Grand Prize of $3 million. Three additional special VinFuture prizes valued at $500,000 each. VinFuture Prize honors science and technology work that creates or has a high potential to create meaningful change in the everyday lives of millions of people. Join us to make a change for a better future.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and our beloved scientists. Welcome to the information webinar of the 2022 VinFuture Prize for Oceania. I'm Minh Trang. I'm the Communications Secretary of the VinFuture Prize VinFuture Foundation, and today it's my honor to be the moderator of today's webinar. Please remember that our last webinar will take place next week on April 19. And before we start, please mute your microphone so we can keep our audio and video quality. And we would like to inform you that the meeting will be recorded for our note-taking purpose and also for our records. So if you have any objection, please let us know. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, and our beloved scientists, established in December 2020, VinFuture Prize is a new global science and technology prize originating from Vietnam. And we launched our call for nomination for the second season on last February 16. And since then, we are very grateful to have your support as our official nominators for the second season. And the latest update number of nominators, accepted ones for today, about one month before the deadline, is 2,200. It's a great news, and we hope that they are all potential nominators who will give us high quality submissions, and all of us together, we can create positive changes for a better life for everyone around the world. Thank you very much. And also for the series of webinars, we also hope that we can support you with detailed information for the process and nomination form for all the nominators. In the webinar today, I would like to introduce to you the panelists from the VinFuture Foundation. Please welcome Professor Thục Quyên Nguyễn from University of California, Santa Barbara, co-chair of the VinFuture Prescreening Committee, chair of today's webinar. Thank you for your presence. Please welcome Professor Sir Kostya Novoselov, FRS, from the University of Manchester, United Kingdom, and National University of Singapore, member of the VinFuture Prize Council, co-chair of today's webinar. Welcome, Professor. Let us welcome Professor Peter Cullis from Integrated Nanotherapeutics and University of British Columbia, Canada, the 2021 VinFuture Inaugural Grand Prize laureates. And from the VinFuture Foundation and VinFuture Prize, we would love to introduce Dr. Lê Thái Hà, Managing Director of the VinFuture Prize. Please welcome my dear colleagues of the Prize Secretariat, master of the submission process and also the requirements of the process, Dr. Minh Anh, Dr. Việt Bắc, and Dr. Thanh Hiền. Welcome all of our college. And for the agendas today's session, we will have the inspiring talk, firstly with the VinFuture Inaugural Laureates. Next will be the sharing session from Dr. Lê Thái Hà, our Managing Director from the VinFuture Prize. It will be followed by the sharing with the panelists about the pre-screening and selection process. And next will be an introduction about the VinFuture Prize by Professor Thục Quyên Nguyễn, chair of our webinar today. And then Dr. Minh Anh from the Secretariat will give you information about the nomination form and all the requirements of the process. Lastly, there will be time for our Q&A session, and that will be the very important part of our webinar. For the first part of today's webinar, I would like to have some questions for our special guest, the inaugural laureates of the VinFuture Prize 2021. Please let us welcome Professor Peter Cullis. Hi, Professor Peter Cullis. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. And I just want to say it was an amazing experience being awarded the VinFuture Prize. I was there in Vietnam in early, me and my wife in January, and it was really a totally special occasion. The level to which everybody rose to say that this was a great event, not just in for the science, but also it seemed like the whole of Vietnam was really remarkable. And so I totally, me and my wife, we totally appreciate that. We got the award for the me and Catalina Carrico and Drew Weissman for the the invention or the discovery or development of the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines. And this was it gave me an opportunity to explain how very basic research can lead to unexpected outcomes, because we started off in an area that was really much more focused on understanding how biological membranes work than had anything to do with developing a vaccine that would be important in controlling the global pandemic. And so it's brought attention. The prize has brought attention to an area that is, I think, of vital importance worldwide, that we support quite basic research, because that gives us the tools that we need in order to make the new discoveries that will lead to new therapeutics and various advancement for mankind. So there's the lipid nanoparticle approach that we've been involved in developing in combination with messenger RNA is now becoming really quite mainstream. And there's been many billions of dollars of investment in this area. And I'll give you one example that they now, using this approach, essentially, not vaccines, but ways to control atherosclerosis are coming into focus, where we can essentially adjust the levels of low density lipoprotein, or commonly called bad cholesterol, just using a very simple approach, using lipid nanoparticles and messenger RNA to lower the levels to whatever level is required. And this is one example of how powerful this technology is, and how it is that the VinFuture Prize has really focused increasing attention on this advance. I was asked to talk a little bit about a couple of other things. I'll be giving a talk on, I think it's April the 27th, as part of the Keystone Symposia, and I do encourage people to tune into this. There's an enormous range of gene therapies. I mean, probably a good example is children that might be born with a rare disease. They lack a certain protein and might very well die as a result of that. Tay-Sachs disease, Fabry's disease. There's many examples. And now we have the opportunity to have the liver make a particular protein which will essentially cure their disorder. So they can be done very quickly, like in a time in the order of months. So as a result of my experience so far with the VinFuture Prize, and this is where I encourage all the potential nominators on the call to really put a bit of thought into who they might nominate. Because recognizing discoveries that have some global impact, such as the vaccines, it really gives a great opportunity to publicize science, and in my case, quite basic science, and how it is that this basic science can have really quite important applications. So new drugs don't appear overnight. I've spent 30 or 40, well, almost 40 years now doing quite basic research and then looking at some of the applications. And so I can now, as a result of the prize, I'm able to promote public support for really quite basic research, which I think is in everybody's interest, both from a science point of view, but also in terms of the implications and the applications and really the advances for society. So I'll leave it there. But this is the efforts that are being made in Vietnam, and particularly the effort with the VinFuture Prize, are really remarkable, and we should be applauding the efforts are being made in a very, very direct way and supporting what the VinFuture Foundation is trying to do. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Curtis, for your sharing. We're glad that you and your family enjoy the award ceremony and the whole week staying in Vietnam for our prize, VinFuture Prize, and also about the journey of nanoparticle technology. I think that we have been inspired a lot by that journey, by how you and your colleague made the mRNA vaccine possible by using the supports of the technology called nanoparticle. And that's why we're so happy, and it's a great news that we're going to have a very special event together. As you have just said, this April, an e-panel on leveraging nanoparticle technology for novel vaccines and therapies, partner with Keystone Symposia. And I would like to share some an image of the events, so you can have a look at what we will have and all the guest speakers that we have invited for this special event. So for this event, we call it an e-panel where we can talk about the topic of nanoparticle technology, and also we can have the panel discussion about the future of nanoparticle technology. Do you want to share a little bit about what can you reveal a little bit about the main thing that the audience can get from this event, Professor Curtis?
Yeah, I said a little bit about it in my previous remarks, but I consider there's, this is a new generation of pharmaceuticals. We had first generation pharmaceuticals, which are small molecule drugs, and these are ones that we're quite familiar with. Drugs such as aspirin or cancer drugs, or drugs to control cholesterol, whatever it might be. And then there's a second generation of pharmaceuticals, which are called biologics. And so these are monoclonal antibodies, and they're proteins of one form or another. And the third generation is really these gene therapies that are enabled by using messenger RNA and also siRNA, various forms of nucleic acid cargoes that are really enabling gene therapy writ large. And it's really, there are very few diseases that you can't approach or can't imagine at least a cure using a gene therapy approach. And so I'll be emphasizing that we're moving into a new era of medicine where the potential therapeutics become much more effective and much less toxic, and much more using the biology that is basically your body works with. And so we can use natural processes in a therapeutic way that we could never do before. And so they're going to revolutionize medicine, I think.
Thank you very much, Professor Curtis, and we can't wait to our event on April 27. For more information, all of our audience and nominators, please find the information in our website and also our fan page on vinfutureprize.org. And right now, I would like to thank you, Professor Curtis, for all of your sharing. We hope that you can stay with us in today's webinar and can share with us more in the Q&A session. And for now, I would like to move to the next part, the sharing with the foundation, about the foundation and also the founders of the VinFuture Foundation and the VinFuture Prize. Please welcome Dr. Lê Thái Hà, the Managing Director of the VinFuture Prize, to start the session of sharing about our country, Vietnam, our founders, and also our foundation and the prize. Please, Dr. Thái Hà.
Thanks, Giang. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evenings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lê Thái Hà. I am the Managing Director of VinFuture Prize, VinFuture Foundation. First, I would like to thank every one of you for spending your time with us today, and I hope that you will find this webinar informative and helpful. I'm going to start out today by sharing with you about our country, our beloved country, Vietnam, followed by the introduction on our founders and Vin Group. Then finally, I will share some essential information about the VinFuture Foundation. First, let's talk about our beloved country, Vietnam. As you may know, Vietnam is located in Southeast Asia. With a population of 96.2 million, recently there has been so many positive transformations happening in our country, and Vietnam has emerged as a new tiger economy of Asia. We have a vibrant and dynamic business environment. Our people are famous for their friendliness, hard work, and willingness to learn. It is also reflected in the working culture, working environment, and the people at VinGroup. And it is what we are very proud of. Second, I would like to share about our founders, Mr. Phạm Nhật Vượng and his wife, Madame Phạm Thu Hương. Mr. Vượng was born in 1968 in Hanoi. He studied in Russia, and after graduation, he started his first business, which later became VinGroup. In 2013, he has named by Forbes as a self-made billionaire, become successful with his own effort and hard work. Mr. Vượng has a great passion to do things which can contribute to the life of the people, make a better life for everyone. He once said, "I don't care how much money I make. I want to build things that make life beautiful." In 2020, he was honored as the hero of philanthropy in the Asia-Pacific region by Forbes for his significant contribution to Vietnam's pandemic relief. The second founder is his wife, Madame Phạm Thu Hương, who's the standing vice president of VinGroup. Ms. Hương graduated from Kiev National University based in Ukraine with a master's degree in international law. She has accompanied Mr. Vượng since the early days of starting their business in Ukraine, and since then she has become one of the senior leaders of VinGroup. VinGroup, as you know, is the largest private corporation in Vietnam, focusing on three core pillars: services, industry, and social philanthropy. We have a track record of transforming new business into market leaders. You can see that we are pioneers and be the market leaders in almost everything we do, from real estate, hospitality, healthcare, education, and more recently, mobility. The philanthropy of VinGroup, we are very active in promoting education, healthcare, and people development. In 2020, the Kai Hart Foundation, one of VinGroup subsidiaries, donated more than 400 million USD to fight against COVID-19 and other charitable activities. VinGroup also operates VinSchool, a not-for-profit K-12 education system with international standard, and Vin University, which is the country's first and only not-for-profit university, with a mission to develop the talents for our country for the future. VinGroup also has the Science and Technology Scholarship Program for master and PhD students in Vietnam, so that they have the opportunities to study in the world's leading universities such as Harvard, MIT, Cornell, etc. In the field of healthcare, we also opened VinMec, which is the largest private healthcare system in Vietnam, pioneering in applying technology to provide the best healthcare to our patients. Now, this is the recent news. President Biden has recently praised VinFast, our electric car company, for the $4 billion investment, which expects to create more than 7,000 jobs in North Carolina. Now, I'd like to share with you the mission of the VinFuture Foundation and the key activities that it involves. In December 2020, the VinFuture Foundation was founded and financed with the endowment of 100 million USD from Mr. Vượng and Madame Hương as an independent and not-for-profit foundation. The foundation's mission is to build a future where breakthrough scientific research and technological innovation empower people, positively enhance their life, and create more equitable and sustainable world for future generations. And we are working toward this mission with 5 activities. The first and the foremost is the VinFuture Prize, which is the largest annual prize in science and technology in the world. The second activities involve grant-making strategies. Then we also work to promote and advocate for STEM and innovation-based curricula in the education system. And we also work on a long-term partnership with the leading institute in science and technology industry on a global scale. Thanks for listening, and I just want to have a brief statement that with VinFuture Foundation, we aim to rebuild a better life for everyone during the post-pandemic period. Thank you.
We hope that you have had more information about our foundation. For now, I would like to invite all of you to take a look at one video about the first journey, the first year of our VinFuture Prize, and about the first VinFuture Pride award ceremony. Please look at the video.
Vietnam is in the center of the world's attention when, for the first time, the world's greatest brains convened here to attend the very first Global Sci-Tech Prize initiated and held by Vietnam. The VinFuture Prize received over 1,000 nominations from 71 countries across 6 continents. A stellar number of 599 outstanding nominees, 100 of whom are in the top 2% of the world's most cited scientists. 43 excellent shortlisted nominees and 4 award winners that have broken new grounds and taken pioneering directions, impacting the lives of billions of people on Earth. The VinFuture Prize has become the focus of attention for the global and Vietnamese scientific communities, garnering over 3,000 domestic and international press articles as well as 1.6 million live and online views, highlighting Vietnam on the world map for science and technology by connecting domestic researchers with world-renowned scientists. The VinFuture Prize has been a fanfare of emotional and inspiring moments, with a pleasant and respectful welcoming reception. The breathtaking sophistication of the stage setup and the musical performances by world-renowned American musician John Legend. Genius pianist Dang Thai Son and a spellbinding stage show featuring the gentle sway of the Vietnamese Ao Zai and conical hats by artist Linh Nga, and the moments of triumph and joy when award winners took the stage. VinFuture has been an evocation of Vietnamese pride, with the national flag flying high during the national anthem, place of pride given to the bronze drum and lotus, to cultural emblems of Vietnam, the proud stylized V emblazoned on VinFuture trophies handcrafted and gilded entirely by Vietnamese artisans. And with the certificates of merit awarded to scientists printed on traditional Zo paper, showcasing the Vietnamese people's heartfelt appreciation of their worldwide friends. Where cutting-edge science met outstanding art, where minds, hearts, and beliefs connected, and where the Vietnamese celebrated their cultural identity with international friends. Keep reaching new heights.
Welcome back to the information webinar of the VinFuture Prize 2022 for Oceania. And right now we would like to move to the sharing with the panelists. We would love to talk to Professor Kostya Novoselov. As far as I know, that you are now in Vietnam, spending your holiday in Phu Quoc Island. And I would like to ask, how are you and how's your trip, Professor?
First of all, it's really a great pleasure to be here today. I think the first prize was really a great success, and that's why we're all very, very keen to work on the selection for the second prize. And indeed, so it's working on this prize really helped me to understand better the Vietnam, the dynamics of this country and the science here. So indeed, I'm in Vietnam at this moment. So I'm just a few days here, trying to get a little bit of holidays, but also doing some work. I was meeting with the Ministry for Education and Training yesterday, and it's been a really pleasant journey.
Thank you very much. Your happiness is our happiness, and we think that our team tried our best to make sure that you have best experience in Vietnam. And welcome to Vietnam once again. And we really appreciate that you still spend time for our webinar, even when you are still in your holiday today. And I have a question I really want to ask you about the prize, not only VinFuture Prize. We know that you won your Nobel Prize when you were just 36 when you were really young. So what do you think about the opportunity for every scientist to get the prize, the very prestigious prize around the world, regardless age, nationalities, and disciplines? Please, Professor.
Because prizes are important because it shows the appreciation of the society towards the work which we're doing, and of course the work of scientists is sometimes very frustrating work. We work for months, sometimes years, with lots of negative results, and really some encouragement and demonstration that the society appreciates what scientists are doing is very important. So I just want to echo what Peter Cullis just said in the beginning, that most of the technological discoveries started one time ago, probably with some scientific breakthroughs. And what a society does notice is the technological advances rather than the many, often multiple scientific breakthroughs which are behind those. So that's what we are trying to do with the prizes, is to give credit to the very hardworking people, scientists in their labs who are trying to push our knowledge boundaries further and further.
Thank you very much. And besides the keyword impact that we have mentioned a lot, I think that the keyword diversity is also the thing that we focus on with our prize in every year, not just the first year, but this year also for the second season, because we believe that talents and hardworking people, like you said, hardworking scientists with breakthrough in science and technology can be in any corner of the world. So we believe in that thing. And we also hope that we can have a lot of potential nominators, nominee, and also nomination submission for this year's season. Thank you very much, Professor. And the next question I would like to ask Professor Thu Quyên Nguyễn, the chair of our webinar today. So we are so lucky because we have you for the whole first year, like the first season. And I really like to ask you, what did you learn about the contribution of all the scientists, all the nominators that we had in the first year for the development of the foundation and also the prize? Please, Professor.
Yes, for me, being part of the journey of the foundation and the prize, it's really an amazing journey. It's once in a lifetime opportunity that you get to start something from scratch, right? I have learned a lot together with the team, but also through this, I have learned so much, being able to see all that amazing nomination and learn different scientific breakthrough around the world. And so that to me really enjoyable part of this, seeing how fundamental science transform into a technological innovation and impact on everyday life of the people. And so it's really wonderful. And yes, that I would like to say, and I'm really very happy to be part of this journey.
Thank you very much. And because you have been with us for the whole year, you are the part of our family, the VinFuture family, and you really know us, understand about the journey we had together. So can you talk a little bit about the progress that we had? How do you position our VinFuture Prize now in the world SciTech map? Please, Professor.
I think we're quite young, it's just 1 year, but because of the unique position, the location, and the country that the foundation were born, and also the uniqueness of the prize, and that very quickly, and also the way the foundation have worked and very professionally, and have really make the Pride go global. And right now, I talk to a number of scientists at different conferences, and they know what the VinFuture Prize is about, which is last year or years ago, they have no idea, right? And so I think the foundation have done an excellent job, and that because of we have an amazing Pride Council member, and also the committee, and most importantly, the staff, and also all the nominations that have done an amazing job to select different scientific breakthrough to nominate to our foundation, and also very special all our first prize winners. And so everyone I have heard of, they say it's extremely well deserved, and they all applause for all the first year winner of the VinFuture Prize.
Thank you very much, Professor. And I believe that our position in the present and also in the future will be defined very partly by our nominators, right? So we know about the importance of our nominators for every year's season. And thank you for your sharing. Now I would like to invite you, Professor Tu Quyên Nguyễn, to give a brief introduction about the VinFuture Prize for all of our nominators and potential nominators here in this webinar. Please, Professor.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it now. Please go ahead.
So good morning, good afternoon, and evening to all our guests, and thank you very much for joining us here today. And so I will give a brief presentation about the VinFuture Prize, although you already heard quite a bit about that. So it is the first science tech global prize for Vietnam, and is one of the world's largest annual prizes in science and technology. So the grand prize, valued at $3 million, and is awarded annually to proven breakthrough research and technological innovation that positively improve the quality of human life. And there are three VinFuture special prizes valued at $500,000 each, and will be awarded for the following categories. So we have one special prize for innovators from the developing country, and one for female innovators, and one for innovator with outstanding achievements in emerging fields. So a lot of time when I walk around and I hear people say, what makes the VinFuture Prize unique and differentiated from all the global prizes? And so the VinFuture Prize is unique and differentiated because it is the first global science and technology prize for Vietnam, and first fund of this stature established in the Asia Pacific region. And it is open to any discipline of science, engineering, or technology, including multidisciplinary approaches. It honors science and technology work that creates or has a high potential to create meaningful change in the everyday life of millions of ordinary people on the global scale. It recognizes solutions that address the real world problems, aligning with one or more of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So we have the amazing Pride Councils, and we have basically the team of global renowned individuals from academia, research, and industry around the world. We have a Professor Friend from the UK. He chair of the Pride Council. We have Dr. Anandan from India, Professor Chase from USA, and Professor Kosa from France, Professor Chi Dang from USA, Dr. Sui Dong Hoang from the US, and Professor Muru from France, and Professor Novasolov from the UK and Singapore, you already met, and Professor Porter from the US, and Professor Valiant, also from the US, Professor Wang from the US. We also have the pre-screening committees, and so I co-chair the committee together with Professor Albert Pisano, and we also have Professor Kota from Brazil, Professor Do from USA, and also from Vietnam, Mr. Kakimoto-san from Japan, and Professor Nguyen from USA, Professor Suta from Australia, and Professor Soichet from Canada, and Professor Zhang from Hong Kong. So this year, we will have 2 more additional members that we will be included very soon. So about the nomination process, I would like to highlight some timelines for this year. So we have the call for nomination, and it opened in mid-February. On May 17, 2022, we will close the nomination, and the pre-screening committee will review all the nomination, and we'll work together between June, July, August, and September. And in October and November, we will have the Pride Council will meet and review and make the selection. And in early 2023, we will have the awards ceremony in Hanoi, Vietnam. So who can be the prize nominators? So we do not allow self-nomination. So nominators are recognized organizations such as university, research institution, centers, academies of science and technology, scientific association, our network, corporation and industries, innovation incubators, and prominent individual in the related areas. So both organizational and institutional nominators and individual nominator can submit their nomination for the VinFuture Prize via the online nomination platform. So one nominator can nominate up to 4 nominations, but only 1 nomination for each prize category. So what are the key nomination criteria? So number 1, it open to any discipline or science, engineering, or technology, including multidisciplinary approaches, open to individual or team of researcher, inventors. It open to researcher or inventor who have involved in developing the underlying solutions, and not to entrepreneurs or corporates who help in commercialization, diffusion of the technology. And solutions should be aligned with one or more of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, aiming to bring positive impact on a global scale. And solutions must be scientifically proven. There should be clear evidence of potential or an end product or service based on the solution, which has an everyday practical application. Solution should have been already benefited, or we have the potential to benefit millions of people. And so here just some photo to highlight the part of the ceremony in January 2021, where we have the VinFuture SciTech Week. And so we have event where the audience can have conversation with members of VinFuture Pride Council and pre-screening committee. And we also have Science for Life Symposium, and there were 3 symposiums at highlight here. And then we also have the scientific dialogue with the VinFuture Pride laureates. And we also, this is another photo where we have our laureates have a conversation with our audience as well. And so these are our VinFuture Prize 2021, the laureates. So we have for the grand prize, we have Dr. Katali Carico, Professor Drew Weissman, and Professor Peter Kullis, who are here with us today. And for the special prize for female innovator, it was awarded to Professor Zenan Bao. And for the emerging outstanding achievement in emerging field, we have Professor Omar Yagi. And then for the laureate from developing country, we have Professor Karisa Karim and Professor Salim Karim. And with that, I would like to finish and let the pass back to the MC.
Thank you very much, Professor Thu Quyên, for your sharing about the prize. And that's what we are so proud of. All that we have, the laureates, the prize council, the prize committee, pre-screening committee, and all other information that we would like to give you more detail. And I think that now you are having quite a lot of information about the prize and the foundation. It's time for us to get familiar with the process of nomination and also the form, the requirements, and stuff like that. I would like to invite Dr. Minh Anh to walk our scientists through the most important parts of our submissions. Please, Dr. Minh Anh.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to represent the Secretariat team at the VinFuture Foundation in Vietnam. And I'm very pleased again to walk you through the most important contents and features of the nomination portal and the nomination form. So first of all, about the nomination portal, you can go to online.vinfutureprize.org/nomination. There you can find the nomination portal and other nomination documentations. But you can also scan the QR code you see on the screen right now to open the nomination portal web page. So on this web page, as I mentioned, you can download the instructions and the endorsement letter template. And in the instructions, you can find the complete nomination form where you can draft the nomination whenever you have time. And then you can copy paste the draft into the online portal. So about the nomination portal or in the nomination form in a Word file format that you have in your hands when you download it from the website, there are 7 content tabs at the nomination form. And I would like to call your kind attention to tab number 5 and tab number 7. So on tab number 5, you can see that you are invited to give your evaluation on the nominee's invention, including the scientific fundamental knowledge, the uniqueness, and the advancement of the invention. Then you are invited to give your most significant social economic impacts of the invention. For example, the number of beneficiaries, for example, people, countries, continents. And here, please say about the how you understand this invention has transformed or will potentially transform everyday lives of millions of people, if not billions of people. And last but not least, please provide the information on the history of the invention, as when and how the invention started, and who else except the nominee or the nominees was involved in initiating or contributing to the invention. Now about tab number 7, the supporting documentation and evidence. There are many important documents that the nomination portal and form requires, but again I would like to call your kind attention to 2 very important documents. The first one is the CV of the nominee, or on the CVs of the nominees if you are nominating a group of people. And number 2 is the endorsement letter. 3 endorsement letters are very much welcome and encouraged, but 1 is mandatory. You can also provide the endorsement at the typing space as page number 6, or you can attach the PDF scan file of the endorsement letter here at tab number 7. And then you are very much welcome to include most important publications or patents of the nominee. And so this is the tab number 7. So if you have any questions or you face any technical issues, please email us at secretariat@vinfutureprize.org. We will be more than happy to assist you in your nomination process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Minh Anh. And we call Dr. Minh Anh as well as Dr. Thanh Hiền and Dr. Việt Bắc of the VinFuture Prize Secretariat as our master of the submission process. And that's why, because every day they have to answer hundreds, let alone thousands of questions from our emails. And don't hesitate to send us any question to make sure that you have the best submission for this year's season. So now we would like to move to the very important, and I also think that the most interesting parts of all the webinars, that will be the Q&A session. And now we are waiting for all of your questions. Please ask us directly on this webinar, or you can send the question into the chat box. I will go first with one question that I've just collected. So must nominees have patentable research in order to be considered for the prize, or are non-patentable breakthroughs, models, or methods are also considered to be competitive for this prize? So Dr. Minh Anh, do you think that any of our panelists today can answer this question?
Yes, of course. I would like to invite Professor Thu Quyên Nguyễn, our pre-screening co-chair and our chair today of the webinar. Please, Professor Quyên.
So it would be great if you have the patent and the patent have been licensed to company, but that's not a requirement for in order to be nominated. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Quyên. I would very much encourage nominators to unmute yourself and ask questions directly to our chair of the webinar and our co-chair of the webinar, and these scientists are also serving as the co-chair of the pre-screen committee and the member of the prize council, and this is the opportunity for you to ask direct questions and get a direct answers. Please just unmute yourself and ask questions. Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Minh Anh, during the meantime, we are waiting for the question. I have another question here.
Yeah.
So how detailed should the nomination be? It's a little bit technical, right?
Yeah, how
maybe the
detailed?
question for you.
Okay, I will take this question first, and I think that Professor Quyên would very much guide me a little bit more. How detailed? Okay, so when you go to the nomination portal, there's a nomination form within the instructions under the button at the end of the portal, and you can download that file to your computer. And when you open that one, or when you access the online nomination form, you can see the mandatory spaces or options, and you are very much encouraged to fulfill on the mandatory fields of the nomination form. As we mentioned before in the nomination form, there are tab number 5 and number 7, which are very essential to the nomination. And we have two very important documents, the CV of the nominee or the nominees and the endorsement letter. So these are the minimum requirements for the nomination form. Yeah. Thank you for that question.
I've just got the notification from the chat box. Someone wants to ask the question directly. So our dear scientist, please unmute yourself and give the question directly to our panelists. Please.
I am Dr. Dastagiri. Are you able to hear? Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
I am Dr. Dastagiri from ICR NAM India. I appreciate and congratulate founders, foundation, and secretariat. You people are doing a good job. I would like to ask you one question. It's what would be the major difference between Nobel Prize? Nobel Prize is also meant for great benefit to mankind, and you also VinFuture Prize also meant for great benefit to mankind. One important thing is, when you are screening committee, how do you assess? Say an example, planetary science contribution. Say an example, I wrote an article, the economics and policy of colonization of Mars and moons, and future policy advocacy. Such type of future innovative things, what is the screening committee can do? What type of experts you are including in this committee?
Professor Quinn, if you could get the essential part of the question, could you please address the question?
So if I understand, first of all, thank you very much for the question. If I understood your question correctly, there are two parts to the question. The first question part is that how different the prize compared to the Nobel Prize. And so let me answer that first. So the big difference is the impact on everyday life, right? So I think that's the major difference between this one, because sometimes you can see there are certain a winner of Nobel Prize. You can create a fundamental science, you create a new field, but may not have the impact on everyday life yet. And they, in that case, will not be suitable or fit into our grand prize category. So the second part of your question, I think if I understood well, you question about the Pride Council member and also the committee member, right? And so since we open to different disciplines, and clearly our scientists that do not work in all different disciplines, but they have served in a number of different prizes and committees. They're quite knowledgeable about different area of science and technology. On top of that, we also asking for outside expert evaluator to help us, especially in the area that we feel like we really need to reach out to get additional opinion and comment. So we use a network of external expert evaluators. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor Quinn. I have one question coming in, and I think that I would very much like to ask Professor Novoselov to address this question. The question is regarding the prize for innovators with outstanding achievements in emerging fields. How will the Prize Council define emerging fields? I think your expertise is essentially important here, Professor Novoselov.
So indeed, it's probably one of the most challenging topic for us as the committee, and how we defined it for ourselves, that it's the technologies which are likely to come or become very popular or become highly sought after or needed in the next 5-10 years. Say any of the interesting scientific breakthroughs which offer potentially to solve any of the global problems which are faced by the humanity are fallen into that category. So basically, anything which hasn't brought the immediate technological impact today, but is likely to bring it in the next 5-10 years, that's what is going and still being very active and brings very interesting research and very interesting science. So that's what goes into the emerging field, emerging technologies.
Right. Thank you very much, Professor Novoselov. I have another very interesting question coming in, and this is the question about the category that one nominator can nominate. Is a prize or any category for one person or a group of people? Will a prize be shared with two people from different fields? How many people can share a prize? I think that I would like to invite Professor Quinn, and then I would very much like to hear the real situation from Professor Curtis, who shared the prize.
Yes. So we do not, the prize can be given to one or to two or the group of scientists. And so this is that another thing that makes VinFuture Pride a bit different from some of the global prize. We do not the limit of 3 winner, for example, like Nobel Prize. And so, and the next question you ask is whether 2 scientists from different disciplines that can lead to that breakthrough can be awarded. And the example in our first year Grand Prize winner, we have Professor Kulis work on the lipid nanoparticle field. We have the other 2 scientists, Carico and Weisman, work on mRNA field, right? But they happen that they can the approach that from both sides that really lead to the vaccine. So yes, so it's not the yes, the example right there.
Much. Professor Kulis, could you please confirm everything this, for our respected nominators?
It's very seldom that you make a big discovery all by yourself. The science is a very collaborative endeavor, and so most major discoveries, it takes often in my case, I mean, we really had there was literally hundreds of people in the end that contributed to the vaccines. So obviously a group of people, in our case it was 3 people, myself and Catalin Carico and Drew Weissman, that played some pivotal roles. It's very hard to choose, I always feel badly because I get awarded a prize like the VinFuture Prize, and a lot of the people that worked with me that contributed enormously, don't necessarily get that same recognition. But it's a very important thing to try to acknowledge all the people that made a big contribution to an effort such as what the VinFuture Prize might be awarding. So most definitely try to include as many people as possible.
Thank you very much, Professor Kulis. Nominators, if you want to ask direct questions, please unmute yourself and ask questions directly to the Prize Council, the Prescreening Committee, and also our inaugural laureate.
Dr. Minh Anh, regarding the topic of nominees that we are talking about right now, so I also have a question from our audience.
Oh, okay.
Do the nominee have to be aware of their nomination? And indeed, do they have to formally agree to be nominated?
Yeah, I think the second question is also about that. If you try to nominate without the candidate being aware of the nomination, how do you get the candidate CV? Can you submit without it and rely on public information such as Wikipedia, LinkedIn, or Google Scholar publication list? This very interesting and important question comes from Dr. Tony Wiseman. Professor Quinn, could you please address the question?
So we like other prize, ideally, we would like you to nominate a nominee, and you do not need to ask the nominee for the permission, but now come down to where if you nominate someone and he or she or a group of scientists do not aware of the nomination, where you get information. And so of course we would hope that you can be very knowledgeable about the work or the discovery by this the group of nominees. And of course, nowadays, there are a lot of information available, right? Like you mentioned there, Google Scholar, publication list, and the website of the nominees, and you can do a lot of search to gather the information. So it will be a little bit more work from your side to gather the information online. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Quinn. While awaiting for direct questions again from our respective nominators, I have a very interesting question, and I would very much invite Professor Navasolov to address this question. Is VinFuture Prize open to early career researchers? Is indigenous research an area supported by the VinFuture Prize? Please, Professor Navasolov.
We don't. There is only one prize in out of 4, which is a little bit discriminative. So it's the female innovator, but otherwise we only judge the scientific and technological impact. So in that sense, there is no difference between emerging between the young innovator or an established scientist. So we judge the scientific and technological impact. That's what really matters. But in addition, of course, we would like to support scientists from the developing countries. So and last year award was really fantastic, coming from the developing country, but is having really global impact, and we're really looking forward to see more of such research, which is coming from small universities, small groups in the developing countries, but which would offer a global impact.
Thank you very much for that clarification. We have, I think that we have the last question from our nominators. Is it possible to nominate candidates who use science to promote sustainable development and the use of natural resources, which some countries adopt, which is not fundamental STEM scientific discovery, but which affects Pacific Island states? This question comes from Dr. Eric Wolansky. Professor Quinn, could you please address the question?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We do aware the importance not of the work done not in science and technology in this specific case, but our prize, we actually set out to focus on research, innovation, breakthrough in STEM, in science, and technology. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We have Dr. Steve Pitler asked if there is a time. I would like to ask a question. Could you please unmute yourself and ask that question directly, please?
Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for including me in this process. So my question is: you have invited nominators, and you have those that weren't invited that meet certain criteria that can be a nominator. Is there a plan to move towards only invited nominators? And if you are invited as a nominator, is that for all future years, or is that just for this year, or how does that work?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Professor Quinn, this question is for you.
Yes. So very good question. And the at the moment, so we work with both. So we will see the nice thing with our foundation. We are young. We always love to hear feedback from nominators and also from colleagues from scientific community. And we continue to grow, continue to evolve and change. And so we don't have to follow any rigid tradition and more into certain one. And so for now, we still have both. And there are also some suggestions about whether a question regarding later on down the road, do we want only nomination from institution, right? And or it can be continue to be both institution and invited nominator, or nominate, or sometimes we also have nominators that can just contacted us and ask. And so for now, we keep all three options. And we will see how it go in the future. So we may change, yeah. But we're open for any comments and suggestions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Quinn, and thank you very much for the question again. So I think that we have addressed quite very interesting and valuable questions for today. If you still have questions or face any technical issues, please email us at secretariat@vinfutureprize.org. Again, we are very much happy to assist you in your nomination process. We are more than happy to send you the presentation for today, the recording of the webinar, the nomination form, and the endorsement letter template by email, so that you don't need to download anything from the website. but please let us know and we will serve you so that you can have your most convenience in the nomination process. I would like to pass the stage to our communication secretary, Ms. Chan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Minh Anh. And for today, we really appreciate your time and your presence, our panelists, our colleagues from VinFuture Foundation and VinFuture Prize, and also especially our distinguished guest and our beloved scientists who joined the webinars today. And we would love to take a group photo, all of us, so we can remember today's webinar. Later, maybe we can have a nominators who joined today have the awarded breakthrough in the next award ceremony, maybe, right?
Yes, for
okay,
sure.
so can you turn on your camera and we can have a group photo together?
Right. Okay, please turn on your camera. We have photographers coming from different corners of our office here in Vietnam. And please smile. Our smile makes our day, and our day makes a lot of happiness moment. Thank you. All right, so we are waiting for the people, our respected nominators, to turn on the camera and we can have a great group photo, and we will send you the group photo by email. By the way, as Professor Curtis mentioned, we will have a very interesting symposium on the invention that he has been working on this April 27th, cooperated with Keystone Symposia. We'll be happy to invite you to join us online for free of charge. So please expect an invitation from us. And also we will be sending you the newsletter with very interesting information about the VinFuture Foundation and the prize very soon. So please expect our email again. Thank you. Okay, now we have our nominators turning on the camera. We can have a group photo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So please be ready for the photo. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you very much for your presence today. And thank you, panelists. We hope that we have addressed all of the questions, enough for you to submit your nominations before May 17th. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much for today. And we still have one more webinars to come on April 19th. Please spread the information to your network and your friends and your colleagues so we can have more chance to approach more nominators and potential nominators. Thank you very much. Have a good day and see you again. Goodbye.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye. Have a good one.